What's going on, everyone? Charlie here. So, yesterday with GME, we ran after hours. What I wanted to show you today is the time and sales data that's happening right now. Do you see the MPID names right here? The TRF and NAS and PSX? You know what that is? Those are all NASDAQ exchanges. Now, the TRF is a little bit different. The NAS and, the NAS and TRF are off exchange venues. NAS and TRF are off exchange venues. The PHX is a lit venue, but it's the only thing coming in the time and sales data. So what doing? Now, if you remember what the TRF facility is, it's the trade reporting facility that's owned by FINRA and NASDAQ. Go back to the time and sales data. FINRA, NASDAQ. All you see here. Now, if you go to the SIBO market share graph website, do you see all these exchanges here? Each line, each different color represents an exchange. This right here is the TRF. It's the biggest entity on this graph by far. And everything that was coming through the TRF, as far as volume, we have the capability of seeing that volume and how much of it was shorted. So yesterday, GME, if we look at the data that was provided by FINRA, which is right here, they have it every day. They update this. They have a consolidated, which shows you, well, where'd it go? If you do the consolidated version, it shows you the FINRA NASDAQ TRF, the ADF, the FINRA NASDAQ TRF Carteret, the FINRA/NYSE TRF, and then the ORF. All of this combined would be the consolidated NMS. However, we want to look at just the TRF Carteret. It gets the most volume by far. And if we look at AMC real quick, AMC had 11 million volume out of 19 million volume in this facility yesterday. GME had 450,886 volume out of 861,811 volume shorted from the TRF. Now, if we go back to this market share graph and we take away everything except the FINRA and the NASDAQ, because that's what we see here, TRF, NASDAQ, FINRA, crime, right? If we go back here, we uncheck everything else except the NASDAQ stuff and the TRF. And by the way, look at this. I mean, we're talking 34.5% of the market share some days. And this says right here, data is based on UTDF and CTS consolidated data feeds. Data displayed represents volume of shares matched. So they have a giant advantage over volume in the market. And that's part of the reason of the problem. Everything's shorted off exchange. So these are all your main exchanges. The TRF takes up most of the volume of the market share daily. This is a big problem. You add in the rest, nothing else even comes close, except the ADF. But of course, that's glitched and no one uses it anymore, despite it, taking up the other half of the market. But we'll ignore that for now. But if you take everything out except the NASDAQ and the FINRA entities on here, I want you to see just the FINRA, Carteret, and the NASDAQ core exchange. I want you to zoom back in on this shit. Look at this. What do you notice? Do you see those spikes? How when this spikes up, this spikes down. This spikes up, this spikes down. This spikes up, this spikes down. Do you see that shit? With the exception of this right here, which is June 21st. Interesting shit. Spiky, spike, spike, spike. It's just the same crime, right? What doing? You see how when this line goes up, this line goes down? And right there, they draw towards each other. It's like literally you could flip one. If you flipped this upside down, it would almost lay superimposed over this one perfectly. So that's what I'm saying. What's going on here? Something. This right here should be the reason why you get hyped up to hold and be quiet about it. not this other shit. This is hypeful right here because you know they're doing shit to get around things, which is what you want. Look, TRF, NAS, PHX, PSX, BX, 100% NASDAQ. Just showing you my thought process on this. And yeah, let's keep going. I mean, again, it's going to be a wait. It's going to happen. Yes, it's badass. We ran back to 160 where we were 2 weeks ago. That's amazing. But let's keep it up. I want to see 400, 500 before I get excited. Just saying. I have 2 alerts. One at 110 to average down. One at the all-time high to get excited. Until then, this is what I do for excitement. Have a good one.